Well, we begin at 4 with breaking news as the manhunt continues to find the suspect in the deadly shooting at Brown University. The FBI has just released a new video of a person of interest in the case, tracking his movements both before and immediately after the shooting on campus. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kayla Fish. We'll show you more of that video in just a moment, but this all comes as Brown University formally identified the 2 students who were killed in the shooting. And some good news from Rhode Island Hospital. We're told a second wounded student has been released from the hospital. In the wake of the campus tragedy, more than a dozen local school sporting events have either been postponed or canceled. Our team coverage continues now. Let's get right out to Kim Kalunian, who spoke earlier today with Attorney General Peter Neronha and has more details on that new video. Kim.
Yeah, Kayla, we are now 3 days out from that deadly shooting that happened here inside the Barris and Holly building on Brown University's campus. You can see the flowers, the tributes growing here behind me at this memorial as folks grieve those 2 students who were killed. As you mentioned, there are 7 students still recovering in the hospital. And of course, the entire community is waiting on news of an arrest. Now, just moments before we came on air, we got some new video that we want to show you from the FBI, surveillance video showing this person of interest in this case walking around the streets here very close to where we're standing right now before and after the shooting occurred at this Barris and Holly building. Now, I talked to Attorney General Peter Neronha earlier today, and he said at this hour investigators still have not yet identified the person of interest in this video, but he says that's a top priority. Take a listen.
In a case like this, where you don't have an eyewitness right out of the shoot who can identify the person, you know, somebody, his physical image is now on screen with your and the rest of the media's help. I believe somebody will recognize him, and I believe that can happen at any minute. I also believe that working the other leads that we have developed and are developing will allow us to break this case and break it relatively soon. I can't promise when, and I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver, but what I can say is that the work is constant.
So no one inside Barris and Holly at the time of the shooting has been able to tell investigators this is who this person was, this is what they looked like? Yeah,
to date, no witness has said it's, you know, John Jones. You know, what we're working on is talking to those witnesses to get the best physical description we can.
Yeah, and all of that as the FBI and police continue to release more and more surveillance video as they obtain it, again, working to identify that person of interest seen in those videos. Neronha tells me he has no doubt once they know who that person is, they will be able to find him. Now, of course, we've got the juxtaposition here. Crime scene tape on one side, a tribute to the victims on the other. I want to bring in my colleague, Shiina LoScuito, who's once again spent all day here near the scene of the crime. What have you been seeing today, Shiina?
Well, evidence of that major tragedy is right behind us right now. Today, this is turned into a safe space where people can come together to honor those victims. We're seeing a lot of people drop off flowers. This is brand new video, a close look here. Flowers continue piling up on the ground near Barris and Holly, plus also at the main gates at Brown University, at College and Prospect Streets, as students take a moment to honor their fellow classmates, the victims of Saturday's shooting, leaning on each other today for comfort. Meanwhile, in the nearby neighborhoods, we're once again seeing local, state, and federal authorities canvassing the neighborhoods. Today, it appears they were on foot again, doing things like going door to door, looking for surveillance video. The groups traveled in smaller numbers, though, we noticed, compared to the massive grid searches we saw yesterday. Students are very hopeful authorities find the clues they're looking for.
It just makes me very sad from inside. It breaks my heart every time I see this building because it used to be so lively. I mean, we come here every day, so to imagine this empty is really heartbreaking. I'm so sorry for the parents, for the families. It makes my heart sink, and like all of our parents have been so scared after that incident. They just want us to be back, and I don't know when things are going to get normal because now walking out seems so dangerous.
I have lots of friends who knew them, family members who had gotten lunch with them just the day before, friends who shopped classes with them. It's a small school. No one is untouched by
I also met a group of Brown University staff members today who work at Barris and Holly. They came back here for the first time today following the shooting, saying it was very difficult. They are not looking forward to the day they're allowed to go back in. They think that will be very hard. Also expressing frustration about the lack of security, they say, and the lack of cameras in the building.
Absolutely. We've heard various emotions from people that we've been speaking with, Shiina, ranging from frustration to sadness, grief, everything in between. Shiina, thank you so much. I'll have more of my conversation with the Attorney General coming up at 4:30. We are expecting to hear from him and others at a press briefing tonight at 5 o'clock. With that, Kayla, I'll send it back to you.
All right, Kim and Shiina, thank you. Meantime, a positive update from Rhode Island Hospital as leaders say a second student wounded in Saturday's attack has been discharged. 5 of the students were in critical but stable condition as of this morning. That's down from 6 on Sunday. 1 remains in critical condition, another in stable condition. The chief medical officer at Rhode Island Hospital, Dean Roy, tells us the response was chaotic but controlled and organized.
It's really the preparation goes into the level 1 certification in terms of making sure you have representatives from every discipline available 24/7, 365, plus the drills and plus the actual day-to-day activities of a level 1 trauma center.
Now, Dr. Roy says extra staff were called in to help as many people as possible. And we continue to remind you that anyone with information on the Brown University shooting is being urged to call the Providence Police Department tip line. That number is right there on your screen. Authorities say no matter how seemingly insignificant, they want to hear from you if you know anything about this tragedy or what led up to it. And stay with 12 News for continuing coverage of the Brown University shooting, both on air on WPRI.com and on the free 12 Plus TV app. Officials, again, like Kim mentioned, are also expected to give us another update on the investigation. That press conference is set for 5 p.m. We will bring it to you live just as soon as it begins.